right, I think we're set. So let's quickly have see how much we can go with solving these problems. Today we'll be looking at November Y 2002, just to keep up with more like the GC series. And it's important to note that the GC exams are I would say they are easier. Neither would I say they are difficult. They can be tricky, very, very tricky. So we'll try to look at the OBG of these exams and use that as a model to see what other aspects of these exams we can handle. All right, we'll try to okay, 1 minute, please. There's something I want to try to do, okay, let's start. Okay, so let's get down to work and let's see um, how things would let's see how things will pan out. Okay, so I'll start. After a while, I would have to pause to see how I could get the link on to see this. I've actually done a snapshot of these questions, and you can find them on my Telegram page. So let's start with the OBJ question. Number one says, since this OBJ, make good use of the space, and let's see how that will help me. Number one says a man obtains, that's number one, OBJ, November 2002, maths. I don't always like writing the word maths. I prefer mathematics. Right, so it says a man obtained 48,000 and in exchange for $600. What is the equivalent of $1? What's the equivalent of $1? Now, it means you're trying to find out what will $1 be equal to, and this is very a very simple question you can actually take care of. To find what $1 would be, we simply would divide 48,000 by 600. And if you do that correctly, you have that $1 will be equal to what? 80 naira. Remember, how do I know if what I have done is correct? How do I know if my answer is correct? It's a very simple way to check. The answer you're going to get here must be a factor of this answer here. Or rather, the answer you get here must be a factor of this. So if 600 corresponds to 4,800, it will mean that 1 will correspond to this divided by 600. And if you had taken that exam, the answer would have been C. Let's go to number 2. Number 2 is testing your knowledge of algebra in the matter of substitutions. I have x equal to -3, and I have y equal to -7. I'm told to evaluate x squared minus y all over y squared minus x. So what do I do? X is -3, so that will be -3 all squared. Y is -7 divided by y is -7 also all squared. And x is what? -3. So in questions like this, don't be in a hurry. This will give you what? 9 negative plus 7 divided by this will be what? 49. Whenever you square two negative numbers, you will always obtain a positive, and that will be plus 9 plus 3 if I'm right, and that will give you 16 divided by 52. So assuming my computation, what I've done is right, I'm going to have something like, there's a factor that can divide 16 and 52. They are both even numbers, so I would expect that what? 2 can divide. If I still get even numbers, I try another 2. So if I try 2 twice, I would have divided by 4. So your answer becomes 4/13. And that option will simply be what? C. Okay. Now we come to number 3. Number 3, question 3 of that exam is testing your knowledge of sorts. You are told that 1/√2 will give you 0.7071. I am told to say by how much is 3√2/2 greater than 1/√2. Now, you already know what 1/√2 is. You already know what 1/√2 should be, and that's what 0.7071. But what is 3√2/2? Simple. √2/2 is actually 1/√2. √2/2 is actually 1/√2. How is that possible? Let's go back to checking what I've said is correct. Now, if I were to rationalize this, I would have multiplied top and bottom by what? √2, is that not? And this would have given me √2/2. Because √2 times √2 will give me what? 2. Recall your knowledge of indices. This is 2 raised to the power of 1 times 2 raised to the power of 1. And that will be 2 raised to the power of half rather. 2 raised to the power of half. Half plus half is 1. And that is just a simple way of showing that this I have done here is correct. So if this is the same as this, and it's obtained by manipulating this, it will mean that this expression would have been 3 into 1/√2 minus what? Greater than what? 1/√2. But the question says by how much? This is 0.701, so that will be 3 times 0.701 is greater than 0.701. 7071 rather. So what do I do? Some of you will just punch a calculator and say this times this, and then whatever you get, you subtract from this. But if you remember your knowledge of factorization, I could say that this is 3 into 0.7071 minus 0.7071. which would be like say 0.7071 times 3 minus 1. 3 parts of this minus 1 part of this. And that will give you 2 times 0.7071. If you do your multiplication, I'm not a fan of calculator, this should give you 1.4, 1 I think, 4, I think 1.4, because I know BJ exam, 1.4142. And if you are taking this exam, that answer will be C. Number 1 C, number 2 C, number 3 C. Wonderful examination options. This one is. Number 4 is testing your knowledge of significant figures. For short, SF. I am told 0.043991. Correct to what? 3 significant figures. What is significance? Significance has to do with the first non-zero digits, and then you read continuously. So in this number, this is the first significant digit, and I will check 1, 2, 3. So this is what I call the digit of interest, and this is what I call the digit causing the approximation, because you need to consider what is causing the approximation before you look at that of the digit of interest. Because this is above 5, what do? You're going to move 1. When it's above 5, add 1. When it's below 5, add 0. So if I add 1 to this, it will move this to become what? 0. And this becomes what? 4. And so my answer becomes 0.0440. Now, in writing your answer, you must include the 0. If you do not include the 0, what you have done is not significant figures. So this becomes what? 0.0440. And that option would have been what? B. So, look at number 5. What does number 5 say? A rod can be cut into 12 pieces of length 7.5 cm. So I have a rod cut into 12 pieces of what? 7.5 cm each. Now, how many pieces of length 4.5 can be cut from another rod of the same length? Now, because they've used the word same length, same length, it will suggest that what we are dealing with is what is called an inverse proportion. So the length I'm cutting out is the same, but the number of parts I'm going to get will be different. So if I cut out 4.5 smaller length, will it be more or will it be less? It should be more. Because if with 7.5 I can cut 12. To get cut from 4.5, I will get what? More. So the answer will simply be saying 12 times 7.5 divided by 4.5. Now, some of us were very quick to punch calculator. You don't need a calculator for this problem. What you need to know is that what you do to top, you must do to bottom. This becomes 12 times 75 divided by 45. What can divide? By your knowledge of divisibility, this 4 plus 5 will give me 9. So that number is divisible by 9. This number is divisible by 3. This number is divisible by 3. So I know that when I cancel here with 9, I'll be left with 5. I cancel here with 3, I'll be left with 4. I cancel here with 3, I'll be left with 25. I cancel 5 here, I'll get 1. Cancel 5 here, I'll get 5. So I'll be left with 4 times 5, and that will be 20 pieces. So if the lengths are the same, I'm going to have that my answer will be 20 pieces. And in that exam, the option will be B. The next question is testing your knowledge of trigonometric ratios. Will that be trigonometric ratios? Okay, let's just say trigonometry. Okay, ratios. Let's say ratios. I'm told that sine, that's question 6, sine x is equal to cos 70 degrees. The challenge here is to know what identity will help you out here. There is a rule that says that sine x is equal to sine 90 minus x. Or rather cos, the cosine. So that's what you need to remember here. So instead of having cos x, you are going to replace it with what? Cos 90 minus x. And that will be what? Cos 90 minus x equal to cos 70 degrees. Now, when you're solving problems, you don't need to bother about putting degrees. The most important thing is that at the end of the day, put the right units. Okay? So with this, I'll have that. Now, this cosine here represent the base. The what? The base. So this will be what? 90 minus x equal to what? 70. And by flipping, 90 minus 70 will be equal to x. Antonyms, if I'm adding here, I'm going to subtract another place. If I'm adding at this place, if I'm subtracting here, I'm going to be adding at the other side. And that means that 20 will be equal to x. X will simply be 20 degrees. So the answer will be what? 20 degrees. And in that exam, the option is D. So you can see that the questions are very cheap. They're very, very cheap. That's the reason why you practice. You need to practice a lot of questions so that you'll be fast at solving them. Now we go to question number 7. The interior angle of a regular. Now, when you hear the word regular, regular will suggest that all sides and angles are equal. When you are solving problems, these are things you must take into consideration. Take note of the terms being used. The word regular is a big word. So, by telling me that it's regular, another important rule you need to note is that the interior angle plus the exterior angle of any polygon is equal to what? 180 degrees. Why? Because the interior and the exterior angle, now look at the diagram here, look at this. Now this is a polygon, 1, 2, 3, a four-sided polygon. The description of the interior and the exterior relationship will be what? E interior, exterior, interior, exterior, interior, exterior, interior, exterior, interior, exterior. Is that 5-sided? Okay, it's 5-sided. Oh, that's an interesting one. So it's actually a pentagon. Now, assuming the rule is saying that if I add up all the interior, exterior angles, I should get 360, but that's not what we're interested in. But that the interior and the exterior must sum up to what? 180 degrees. So we're told that the interior is equal to 3 times the exterior. I already know that I plus E must give me 180 degrees angle on a straight line. So what's the next thing I should take note of? What's the next thing I should take note of? Now, wherever I am going to put what? 3E there. So this will be 3E plus E equal to 180. What is 3E plus E? Basic arithmetic, that will be 4E. That will be equal to 180 degrees, and E will be equal to 45 degrees. Because E will simply be what? 180 divided by 180 divided by 4, and that will give you 45 degrees. The next thing now is, when we told to find the exterior, did I say interior? The exterior angle rather. When we told to find the exterior angle, no. We are told to find how many sides has this polygon. There is a rule for that. The rule says that the number of sides is given by 360 divided by the number of exterior angles for a regular polygon. So with that, n will be what? 360 divided by 45. And if you do your maths right, you discover that n will simply be what? 8. And that will be B. So you see that these questions are pretty cheap, and they will require you to be quite careful when you solve them. All right, so we'll take a little break so you can cool your brains, and then we'll continue. let me clean off. So any issues, so also it's fast. You technically don't need a calculator for this exam. I don't know, students just want to believe that you need calculator. You really don't need. And if you prepare well, you discover that your calculator actually slows you down. It slows you, really, really slows you down. So the best thing would be try as much as possible to solve without a calculator. It helps. It's something I have developed over the years. This concept I've used it as far back as secondary school. Yes, solving more questions will make you more exposed. I totally agree with that. So let's look at question number 8. I will go to question number 8. In question number 8, it says use the incomplete table for the relation y. So I'll write the relation. For those who will be watching after now, I will be sending a link where you would go to my Telegram page, and the questions are there. Question paper is there live, so you just pick and be able to follow up the questions. Or when we have a remastered copy, you get to see the question, and then you see you drop the question, see the question, you see the solution and things like that. But for now, our focus is just to see how we can run through the class. All right. So this relationship we are giving. We are given a table. So this is what the table looks like. 7 items. 7 items. Let's see. I think I've listed the cutout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So I have 7 items. Clean this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Adjust this a little. 1, 2, 3. So I need 4 items from here. All right. Right, so this is x, this will be y, -3, -3, 4, 6.5, 4, 2.5, 4, 6.5, and negative, and then, okay, this is the dash, that's what we're told to look for. It says, find the value of k. Find the value of k. Now, to find the value of k, all I simply need to do is to use any one of these. All I need to do is to use any one of these. Can say find the value of k. So I will pick any of these. I could pick this. Now, when you're solving questions like this, look for the one that will not have too much decimals. You don't have to play so much with decimals. So my choice is this one. I'll recommend this, or I recommend this. Any one of them will help you solve the problem faster. So I'll use this. So this will be y, which is 4, equal to 1/2x, which is what? 2 squared plus k. So this will be 4 equal to, this is 4 plus k. This will be 4 equal to 2 plus k. And k will be what? 4 minus 2, and k will be equal to 2. So in that question, k will be equal to 2, and that will be C. Now, you see that the question was a very simple one. Very simple, but if you had just read it and you just assumed, this is difficult, you may have left that question and discover only at the end of the exam that it was a very cheap question to handle. Now, question 9. Find the probability that a number chosen at random from. Now, I'm going to draw this for you to suggest that the counting is done in line with this sequence. So, the first thing I would expect a student to do is to try to rewrite this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what was missing there was 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, it says, what's the probability that the number is either a prime or a multiple of 3? So I will start by taking, now the word or suggests that or opens the possibilities for you. Anytime you hear the word or, the possibilities are more. So I'll take either a prime. So let's pick prime. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we're taking prime, and among those prime, we have what? Multiples of 3. So the next one says or a multiple of 3. So I've taken that one, this is another one, and this is another one. So what is the probability? Either prime or 3. It will simply be what? I'll count. What's the total number I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many of them are prime or multiples of 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then my final answer becomes what? 2 over 3. That settles that. So if you're taking that exam, the answer will be B, which is what? 2 over 3. Now, the next question says, find in surd form. Find in surd form. The value sine, that's number 10, sine 45 cos 30. Okay, let's use a very big place. Sine 45 cos 30 minus, or rather plus, cos 45 sine 30, all in degrees. Now, to solve a question like this, you must have a sound knowledge of your special angles, or what we call in technical drawing or basic tech, standard angles. Now, what is sine 45? 1 over root 2, or root 2 over 2. Now, I know this, and for every student preparing for WAEC, you must know all of this. It's important. Then we have cos 30 degrees, which will be what? Root 3 over 2. You have cos 45, which is also 1 over root 2, which is also equal to root 2 over 2. I have sine 30, which is 1 over 2. I know this, and you ought to know them. You really must memorize them. It's not something, it's not an option. You must know them. You have to take out time to practice and know them. So I will just fill in this. So imagine a student that knows this already. It will be very easy for the student to, because the interesting thing here is that your calculator cannot fail you, except you have some of these very good calculators that will already solve it out for you in surd form. Now this will be what? Root 2 over 2 times root 3 over 2 plus root 2 over 2 times 1 over 2. So let's play with what I'm having. This is this. This is this. This is this. And this is this. So just to give you a perspective to how these answers are playing out, so that in case when you're watching this again, you understand where I'm getting each value from. Now, with that said, this will now be equal to what? Root 6 over 2 plus root 6 over 4. Sorry about that. Now, when you are solving problems, you must have a way to get feedback. when you give a wrong answer, there must be a way you need to tell that this answer I've given is wrong. Now root 2/4, and if you solve that correctly, this 4 and 4 can take a common LCM, and that will be what? Root 6 plus root 2/4. And if you solve that exam correctly, that answer will be D. So that takes care of that. We'll continue shortly. Let me stop the live stream.